Hey folks, Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue with a new exciting video, and you're gonna wanna stick around for this because you're definitely gonna wanna see it. We did a reverse-seared, full spinalis-jacketed, boneless prime rib, and we made our own horseradish aioli. So this is the follow-up on the previous video where I took a boneless prime rib and we dry brined it 48 hours ahead of time. We butchered a second rib, we pulled off the spinalis and we attached that spinalis, so we created a full jacketed spinalis prime rib. So before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss an episode. Stick around, we're cooking together. All right, our full spinalis-jacketed prime rib roast, boneless prime rib roast is ready to go. So we're gonna do a reverse sear. Now, this is probably, well, it's not probably, it is the best way of doing a rib, any large roast for that matter. We're gonna be doing it very slowly at low temperatures for the beginning of the cook. Then we're gonna be pulling it, letting it rest, and then finishing it with a high heat for the last 10 minutes. So I've got my oven preheated to 250 degrees. Where the spinalis is that I put on, I'm gonna have to season that because the remainder of this prime rib, if you remember, we dry brine that. I dry brine it 48 hours ago. So there's no need to do any salt on that. So we're gonna go very, very heavy in the salt. Then we're just gonna freshly cracked black pepper. All right, we're gonna flip it up, get the sides. All right, next we're gonna take a sheet pan, just any old baking sheet pan with a rack on it. If you don't have a sheet pan, a baking pan, just use a roasting pan, that'll work fine. But make sure you get it on a rack so it's up above the surface. Just throw it on there, nothing else we're gonna do. And we're gonna get it into a preheated 250 degree oven. Like I said, we're gonna let it go until it reaches an internal temperature of 120 degrees. 120 degrees for medium rare. If you want it to go a little higher than that, 125 will bring it to more of a medium, and then 130. Once you get to that temperature, you're talking about more of a medium well. Let's get to the 130 to 140. But just keep in mind, we're pulling it at 120. That's not gonna be the finished temperature. Once this is pulled and it's rested, it's gonna have a carryover cook, and it'll probably end up with almost 10 degrees more or warmer than when we pulled it out. Usually it's about 5 to 7 degrees. So we pull this at 120, we got a finish temp of 125 to 127. We've nailed it. We're gonna have a perfect medium rare. So I'm gonna use a thermometer. I mean, there's all kinds of thermometers out there, but you'll find this is very, very inexpensive, but it works. So you wanna go in, you wanna get the probe in the most central location of the rib. So I can't go into the sides because we're not gonna end up that deep. So just go to the front of it, and we wanna just place it in until it's about halfway through. Nothing left to do now than to get it into the oven. All right, 250 degrees. Let me get it in. And I got my finished temp set at 120. And I should have taken the weight of this thing. I'm sure that's about 12-pound roast that's in there, but I'm estimating it'll be anywhere from 3 upwards to 4 hours. But this is not about time, it's all about temperature, critical. 120 degrees, internal temp finishing, and it's gonna give you a medium rare. So sit back, relax, and go ahead, pour yourself a glass of wine, coffee, whatever, and enjoy the 3 or 4 hours while it's in there. Or you can turn your focus on to other things, which is what we're gonna do in 1 minute. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so I absolutely love a horseradish mayo with my prime rib. So we're actually gonna make a fresh horseradish aioli for you today. I'm gonna show you just how you can do it. So first we're gonna get started with the aioli. What's aioli? It's basically an emulsion of egg yolks and olive oil with a few simple seasonings. So we're gonna do that right now. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do it at home. So we're gonna start off with 3 large egg yolks. And we're gonna add just a little bit of Dijon, maybe about a teaspoon of Dijon to that. Not much. A pinch of kosher salt. And a little bit of white pepper. Very simple. That's it. Now the only thing we need to do now is incorporate olive oil. We want to do this very, very slowly. Initially, we just only want to go drop by drop. And in time, we'll be able to speed up the oil flow into the egg. So we're going to go 3 large eggs, about 2 cups of extra virgin olive oil. It's going to give us about a 2.5 cup serving of aioli. So let's get going. So I'm going to just break up those egg yolks. And as I'm doing it, I'm just going to add drop by drop of olive oil. Very, very slowly at first, like I said. Keep that whisk going. And slowly but surely, this is all going to come together into a nice mayonnaise. It's going to beat any store mayonnaise you could possibly buy or what you could think of. So this aioli is going to be the base for our horseradish aioli. Once this is all together, I'm going to actually make a fresh horseradish preparation using actual fresh horseradish root. We'll get that all peeled, grated, processed, and we'll be adding that to our aioli to make a nice fresh horseradish aioli. Just a little tip, use a towel under your bowl, a moistened towel, because what that'll do is it'll help that bowl from spinning. Otherwise it's going to spin right off the table. You'll end up with a mess. And it's absolutely not necessary to do this. If you just want to purchase store-bought mayonnaise and a store-bought horseradish, prepared horseradish, you can do this yourself. No need to go through all this, but it's Christmas. Time for things to be extra special, and give this a shot. I think you're gonna like it. If you never tried a fresh aioli, you gotta do this sometime. It's pretty simple, and it's really gonna wow you. So that's it. We're gonna get our horseradish prepared, and we'll be adding that to our aioli and get our whole horseradish aioli all finished up, so stick around. All right, next we're gonna do a simple prepared horseradish. So I have a 1 pound horseradish root. You can find it in your produce department. And we're gonna be adding just a little bit of white vinegar to this. We're gonna get it all shredded up, chopped, and get it all combined. And that's as simple as it gets. So I'm gonna get this peeled first of all. Gotta get this all this thick peel off the outside because it's pretty coarse. So let's get that done right now. All right, we have our horseradish all peeled. Now, you can either do this in a food processor or you can use a box grater using the fine side like you would grate cheese. And you want to get this all grated up. All right, our horseradish is all grated up. We're gonna go into a large bowl with it. Let me tell you something, folks. This horseradish makes an outstanding nasal decongestant. If you're ever doing this with any type of issues, you're gonna be cured by grating some horseradish up. So, all right, the only thing we're gonna go in with now is 4 tablespoons of white vinegar. You know, get this all combined, all mixed up. I'm gonna give this a try and see what we're looking at. It's kind of dry to me, so I might be adding a little bit more white vinegar. I gotta prepare myself. I'm not sure exactly how much to be, yeah, let's try that. All right, I'm back. We almost had to call 911 after trying this horseradish sauce. So, yeah, this definitely needs a little bit of moisture content to it. So I'm gonna add a little bit more vinegar. We went 4 tablespoons of vinegar. And I'm just gonna eyeball maybe 2 more tablespoons. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of water, just to kind of cut this down, dilute it a little bit, because I'm telling you, this will knock your socks off. It's pretty potent the way it is. So, plus it's dry. We want to look for a little bit more moisture content. So I'm just gonna go in with maybe a couple tablespoons of just tap water. All right, I'm gonna go in with just a couple more tablespoons of water. Figure 6 tablespoons of white vinegar and 4 tablespoons of water. And I'm gonna leave it at that. It's starting to come together, very similar to a prepared horseradish you would buy in the store. That's it, I'm done with this. I'm gonna put this aside and we'll continue on mixing this with our aioli, so stick around. All right, we're ready to put our horseradish aioli together. We got a prepared horseradish ready, aioli, and a couple other ingredients that are all gonna come together and make this work. So, got about 2 cups of the aioli, and we wanna go in with maybe, gonna add about a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Also gonna add about a teaspoon of fresh chopped garlic. Just another pinch of salt. Now, with this horseradish, I'm gonna go in with maybe a tablespoon at a time, maybe even a half a tablespoon, and then check for the flavor. You don't wanna overcommit, so be careful with this. It's quite potent. So I'm gonna go in with maybe I'm gonna go in with a tablespoon worth. I'm gonna get this all whisked up, and we'll see where we are with that. We might have to add more. Give it a try, see where we're at here. Lot. That is really good. But I'm gonna go in with a little bit more because it doesn't quite have the horseradish punch we're looking for. So I'm gonna go in with another tablespoon. See where we're at. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. That's all I have to say. Because you spent all that time putting this aioli together. The last thing you want is to turn it into a raging bowl of forest fire. So, I'm gonna go in 1 more tablespoon. So we're up to 3 tablespoons. So there we go. That's it. That's our fresh horseradish aioli. Can't wait to serve this up with our prime ribs. So we're gonna put this in the fridge, let it chill, let it sit on the side. So stick around, we'll be right back. 3 hours and 45 minutes and we have hit 120 degrees. So we're gonna get this out. We're gonna get it resting. Wow, check that out. I'm gonna remove the probe. Out it comes. We're gonna tent it loosely with foil. Now at this point it's gonna rest. So you can go anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. We're gonna go 45 minutes. So set your timer, let it sit there for 45 minutes. And once it's done the rest, we're gonna get back in the oven at 500 degrees. So we're gonna finish it off at 500 degrees for about 10, 15 minutes and we'll be done. So we're gonna let that rest and we'll be back in a minute. All right, our 45 minutes is up. It's fully rested. What we're gonna do is remove this foil. Now, for the reverse sear, we're gonna get it back in the oven, it's preheated to 500 degrees, and we're gonna go in there for 10 minutes just to get all that exterior all seared up, crisped up, and we'll be in business after that. So let's get this in. It's preheated, 500 degrees. All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes is up. It's time to get this baby out of the oven. We're gonna shut that oven off first of all. So you have it. I'll twist this around. Nice and seared, nice and browned off. Gonna get this over to the cutting table. All right, I'm gonna let this sit here just for about 5 or 10 minutes. At this point, it absolutely does not need to be rested. You could literally just cut into this. Because we rested that for 45 minutes, it's actually gone through that rest period. So it's basically ready to go. So stick around, you're gonna wanna see the finish. And here's the grand finale. We're gonna cut into this right now. Goes right down the middle. Now we did that reverse sear, so by doing that, we're gonna get the same degree of doneness from the edge all the way down to the center. How's that look? I'd say that's a medium rare, perfect. And you can see the pinkness goes from the edge all the way through the center. It's an even cook all the way through, so I'm awfully excited about that. All right, let's dive in and see what we have here. I'm gonna remove 1 string, pull this off, so I can get at this without any strings. Move this to the side. All right. There you go. Now I'm gonna take a little dollop of horseradish mayo. I'm gonna stick it right there. So I'm gonna cut this up in cubes. We can all. There you have it. All right, I'm gonna go in. Part of the spinalis right here is staring me in the face. So spinalis with a little horseradish mayo. Oh. Oh. I'm telling you. Tender, juicy. You're gonna love this. This is absolutely to die for. I don't know, folks. This is a family-inspired meal. And it's for Christmas, for your family and friends. I can't do this all by myself. Is there anybody around here who would like to help me out? I've invited the entire cast of the Wise Guys barbecue team. They're all here to join me for a group tasting session. After all, it's Christmas, and this is Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays from the Wise Guys barbecue family to you.
Tommy, first of all, fantastic. This looks amazing. Can't believe, I called it a Franken roast all week. Cannot believe you put this thing together.
Yeah.
A full jacketed spinella holiday
I know, it's not easy to say.
roast. It's terrific. So I want a piece. Let's take it. Let's get some.
All right, jump in there, grab a fork. They're all here. Help yourself.
I want the nice red one. Oh, look at this.
I like the one little. Let me get out of the way here because I've already dug into this. So
We just eating those potatoes like an apple.
yeah, just dig in and.
Welcome home for our colleagues who couldn't be in studio today. Joining us from Georgia, Western Massachusetts, John Zenowitz, Shannon Larkins. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Hi guys.
Hello to everybody.
Happy holidays. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, and all the way from Wales, Massachusetts. I just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all my friends and family that are there today and watching on Barbecue World around the world, literally. So I hope you have a wonderful and safe holiday season.
All right, folks, there you have it for the entire Wise Guys team. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I hope you like what we did for you today. Thank you for watching. We can't wait to see you next time. Merry Christmas.